Hello and welcome to Charmed Fantasy, where we are playing Sleepless in Drakkenheim, a campaign module created by the Dungeon Dudes. Their collective brilliance and creativity has sprung forth one of our favorite games we have played as a group together in quite some time, though we do have some of those games recorded, and I will be uploading them in the future. If you are interested, comment below. I'm your host. I'm Charm. These are my friends. This is my channel where we, as a group, will be playing every kind of tabletop role-playing game and having fun. But tonight, a battle steeped upon on expectations, no doubt, since last episode, and the breaking of dawn is when shit is gonna get really intense. But of course, true to fashion, this party may just not wait. No sleep till Drakkenheim. So yeah, Dragon. I'm sure some parts of Drakkenheim are like Brooklyn, in all honesty. So with that in mind, yeah, I play Erasmus von Kessel, formerly Saint Wraith, until found out some shit through 23 and me, or D20 and me, I guess, in this game. But yeah, and I will be moving forward with some pretty heavy weight on this poor little human lad's shoulders. 18 years old, just got his two very wise and charismatic friends with surpassing experience to follow through on, and he's trusting them not to lead him to death. So, speaking of leading to death, let's just go with Isaac.
Hi, yeah, I'm Isaac. I'm Conflux Creatures, Conflux Art, like resin dice with my wife, and yeah, I'm playing Phalles the Curious. Just the worst Gandalf a guy could ask for. Really,
We have
really
Gandalf
just
at home.
giving nothing,
And don't.
nothing but bad advice to young Erasmus here. And it's all worked out so far, which is just ruinous for everybody involved when their luck runs out. But yeah, that's me. On to you, Laurie.
Right, fair enough. I'm watching Josh. I'm like, dude, what?
I literally ate a hair of mine. Like, that was really gnarly. Gross.
At least it was yours. Hey, I'm Laurie. You see me lurking around as mostly trustworthy, and I am playing Ryan Dline. Ryan is a half-elf level 7 cosmic warlock, learning about magic, learning how to navigate Drakkenheim, really right now focused on that damn Lord of the Feast. It's personal at this point. And she is not with a group who's going to say, no, no, stop, don't do that. So let's go and see what happens.
Yeah, that train's left the station.
Yeah.
Yeah. The brakes have fallen off this train.
They're not
Drakkenheim.
one break here. Not
Yeah.
one break here.
Nope. All gas. All gas. No brakes. Everybody, I'm everybody else. I'm Josh Henderson. Welcome back to Sleepless in Drakkenheim. It's good to have you back here on the eve of the Battle of Temple Gate. Glorious in its fervor will it be. A little bit of a catch up. Last episode, or the episode before, Phalles had taken the sacrament of the Sacred Flame, or of the sacrament of the Falling Fire, rather. The other one's a
Potato.
Yeah, the other one's a different thing. There's
Same.
he took the purple vial, and after a understanding of what that did and the elevation of his ability to use delirium, the group made their way around the outskirts of the crater and headed back to Emberwood, trying to collect as much delirium along the way. Arrived back in Emberwood, told everybody about their exploits over the past week or so in the inner city, or their business week in the inner city of Drakkenheim. And everyone was thoroughly impressed, but a little distracted as it seemed as there was a major military push happening to capture one of the major gates within Drakkenheim, known as Temple Gate. Temple Gate is one of the gates from the outer city to the inner city that is relatively accessible. It's more accessible than a lot of the other gates. Let's put it a different way. Except that it is guarded by about 100 Gamir or kind of delirium clouded gnolls. And there seems to be a loose coalition forming between the Hooded Lanterns, the Silver Order, Amethyst Academy, possibly the Queensmen, possibly the Followers of the Falling Fire. It really kind of it's kind of a dice roll of who's going to show up, who's going to help, who's going to be on the other side, who's trying to sabotage. But our group here has thrown their lot in with the Silver Order and have spoken to the Knight Commander and not necessarily signed up directly to be in the Vanguard, but basically have signed up to be in the Vanguard. Whether or not they choose to do that has been left up to them. So the option is still open if they choose to find another path or not. And we are kind of approaching the eve of that choice. So come morning, the Silver Order will begin their march towards Temple Gate, beginning the assault that evening. And with that, we are going to go ahead and come to you three. So knowing that the Amethyst Academy has said their best, their brightest, Phalles the Curious, to help out the Silver Order in their taking of the Temple Gate, Hooded Lanterns are all in, basically. They're leading the opposite side of the pincer on this Temple Gate, as well as the Silver Order itself being the tip of the spear that is going to push into Temple Gate itself. Whether or not you're at the head of that is a totally different thing. But that is the game plan right now. What are the three of you going to do as the sun starts to set?
I'm trying to make sure I get a hold of the staff. That was the one thing that I just need to make sure that we can, and I'm good.
See if they'd let you take that.
I brought it to them. I'll bring it back.
Yeah, you don't know yet. You asked it of them.
Okay.
You haven't gotten an answer yes or no yet.
Okay. Erasmus, we may not have time.
Well, let's take. So, Petra had given us a file, a folder, given us some information on the Lord of the Feast. Brian was like, "Hey, you know what? I know we got a lot. Let's take a look and see what this says."
Yeah, has anyone from the Hooded Lanterns actually seen them, or they've just heard talk from Garmir?
Yeah, let me see what we've got, because we're looking for all the information we can.
Yeah, little column A, little column B. So there's definitely, as you're reading through this field report, I'll say, of the Lord of the Feast, a lot of it is hearsay, but what it reeks of like a CIA or an NSA report, where it's just like a lot of, everything that they could find is stuffed into this folder. Right?
It's the unverified information report. Where it's just here's where we put all the crank things in one folder together, so we can decide what's worth looking into, and we haven't done it yet.
Exactly, and that's kind of where I think it lands, is that you have all this information about the Lord of the, as you're parsing through. Go ahead and roll me. Ooh, what would this be? What would be a good academic insight for reading through text to decipher good, truthful information? Would insight be the right a good one? Does that make sense?
Investigation, maybe.
Investigation is another good way. Yeah, let's do investigation. I think investigation hits better than insight
would be good if there's something they're talking around.
Right. Yeah. Let's do investigation.
And you're trying to read something that's not there, as opposed to trying to figure out what the salient information is
I always took investigation as Sherlock Holmesian, but I think this makes a little bit more sense.
It's like parsing. It's like direct reasoning.
Got it. All right. Ray is focused with an 18.
18. Okay, great. Let me sorry, making sure that all of my stuff is set up here. Okay, great. On an 18, you're able to find some pretty good information. So there's contradictory information that says the Lord of the Feast is real, tangible, menacing, huge, and then there's counteractory evidence in here, from eyewitness accounts that say that the Lord of the Feast is nothing but a story made up by the Gamir to push this element that there is a head of the snake, right? That there is this like leader that is leading this section, is very powerful, very strong. Think of like orcs in 40K. Like, oh no, we definitely have really strong gods. Like the gods we have are really good. Here's
We've never
Orc and
seen
Mork.
him, but I heard about a
100%.
guy. My cousin saw Mork.
Very vibe. Yeah, that's the vibe of those reports. Except
somebody
you
actually
live.
went and asked like the Garmir that they were like interrogating. Like,
Yeah.
okay, but like, what's your experience, Lord of the Feast?
Yeah.
Oh well, I haven't like seen him.
Is this a Regina George like montage of from Mean Girls where they're just like, Lord of the Feast punched me in the face. It was awesome. Or I hear Lord of the Feast's fur is got a life insurance or its own life insurance policy. Or
10 feet tall, radioactive, weighs a ton.
Yeah. I think some of them are like that. I think some of them are also you're reading reports of like torturous interrogations from the Hooded Lanterns of these Garmir, and they're like, he's like 1,000 feet tall, you'll never beat him, right? And like that's what they said. Yeah. And so you decipher through all this information. What makes sense to you is that a lot of the reports believe that it is a fake thing. However, the reports that actually have concrete evidence say it is very real, it is tangible, is incredibly powerful, it's fast, it has the ability to call a group almost like a royal guard around it. Yeah, very much like a posse. That's a great way to put it. Taller than, what you would imagine it would be. Not like hundreds of feet, but bigger than your standard Garmir. And is kind of a weapons expert in its own right. Those are kind of all of the individual reports that you're finding. When you boil it down, you've landed on it is a real creature. It is killable because it is a real creature, but it is strong, powerful, and is able to manipulate those around it in an effective way to seem larger in life than it is.
I swear, if this is another wizard.
but it is a influential and powerful type of creature. Like it is a intimidating force in this part of Drakkenheim. Whether or not it is actually powerful when you get there, the aura it affects is very large, right? There is a large circle on the map that says "Do not go here." The Lord of the Feast goes here, and that is an intimidating thing as itself. So that's kind of the vibe you're getting.
Erasmus, time is ticking away. I feel if we intend to meet with the Vanguard after this excursion, we should leave immediately. If you need the staff, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend borrowing it, but if you need it, I think that is the option you're left with at this moment.
Are you saying I should steal it?
I am saying that if you absolutely need it right now, stealing it is probably your most viable option. If you can do without it, I would do without it. As I think what you intend to do with it might smooth things over afterwards, but it would also undermine the goal of presenting yourself as a true and constant ally to the Silver Order.
Here's one other option, and I'm looking at a watch which doesn't exist. I'd like to, and Fairies, if you could help me, I'd like to buy a couple of spell scrolls from River. And
so we're going back through Emberwood, so that's possible, but we must be quick.
All right, perfect. So maybe I mean, Ghost, do you want to go ask? Just take a quick minute. And go, did he already? We're just waiting here.
He asked just a few minutes ago, and they said they'd think about it. I believe if we wait until morning and leave with the Vanguard, they may decide to hand it to you.
Right.
But that would that would block off certain avenues to us.
All right. So I have a question. I have a question for both you guys, and maybe it's for somebody else too. I don't know how the best way to do this is. I want to kill the Lord of the Feast.
Oh, of course.
And I want to help I want to help them secure the gate. I don't know what order to do that in. What do we do first? Do we go with a group?
I think we will need
Do
to
we
be
go
efficient.
ourselves?
If we will need to be quick, and we will need to be efficient. If we intend to participate in a battle at scale in the immediate aftermath. Hopefully the Lord of the Feast is in fact their leader, and they will be in some disarray. But I don't think we can count upon that. I think we will need to arrive to the battle relatively fresh, and that is not possible if we engage in a direct assault.
I want to show up wearing his head as a backpack.
Yes, we could do that. Yes.
I just smile. Like
No one messes with my friends.
That's a beautiful visual, and I would like to be the one to cut his head off to give to you.
Yeah.
That might be a powerful symbol if we wanted to do that. But step one before claiming any trophies is to seek victory, and step one of that is getting there with enough time to accomplish what we need to.
Let's talk and walk, Scalise.
Yes.
You're lagging behind.
I'm sorry. I'm.
You still
Oh, this is exciting. I've never done a murder before.
What? I don't believe you.
I'm like, we'll just, I'm like,
I think you've just killed people and never classified it as murder your whole life.
I mean premeditated.
I don't know if I believe that either.
No, I have meditated upon murder, and I have killed people, but never in a way that was connected.
And Rye just looks at Ghost and is like, he's helpful.
I imagine that the subject of like the premeditation and the actual murder might be the same, but it's definitely not the same way he thought about it. And so he's like, "Oh, that's totally accidental."
It's fine. It's fine. All right. So then, are we talking about going in and getting the Lord first, and then coming back and helping with the gate?
If at all possible. I expect he will be there with an entourage, and it would be most advantageous if we did not have to deal with the entourage as well as the Lord himself. So no plan survives contact with the enemy, but let's keep in mind that as we are approaching that any indirect assault is going to probably be superior to a direct one for our purposes.
So we've done some of this before. We're talking about sneaking in.
Perhaps something like the Rat's Nest Tavern.
Right.
I think yes, whatever stealth abilities are at our disposal, but also I think what it will be essential is moving too quickly for their communications to keep up with our actions, right? Whatever they are responding to, it should not be what we are currently engaged in. And so long if we keep up a sufficient pace, I am assuming that these are somewhat chaotic creatures without firm and rapid chains of command that may not be viable otherwise. If for instance they have magical means of instant communication, but if we can exploit any weaknesses in their situational awareness, I think that would be a powerful boon.
All right, Ghost, what do you think?
I think it's incredible that Phillies can talk so fast while we're moving.
I've
Wizard
been
cardio.
doing a lot of cardio.
Watched a lot of West Wing.
It must have been this contamination.
A
An
lot of,
extra lung, perhaps?
Sword Pilates.
Okay.
Someone is going to run with that and open a Ren Fair event.
I'm already writing it down.
Yes,
Right.
I mean they at the Amethyst Academy they have us do calisthenics, and I've just incorporated a sword into it. It's quite important to move and to blink sometimes. Not quite so much for myself, of course, but wizards tend to forget those things.
See what you did there.
I'm not the first one to go blind from magic, though usually it's less dramatic.
All right.
You're making it work.
well,
Okay, so
to
we're
answer
gonna
your
leave the rod.
question, we're just going full tilt to do the indirect way, and then meet up with great success to be a part of the Vanguard assault.
I think we should strive now to earn whatever time we can on our entry into Drakkenheim, and then slow down. Slow down using that sort of accumulated lead. Once we get into the more deeply hazardous portions, what do you think?
I
Yeah,
think it gets
this
us
is-
there to get in there and do it. Ghost, do you want to tell them that we're going to go tonight and not to wait for us in the morning?
Right, I'll do that.
And maybe ask for the rod.
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're
Off to
moving.
Emberwood.
We're going to Emberwood. We're going to quickly go to River and attempt to exchange Ryan's crystal for. Were you looking for some spell scrolls or just money?
Yes, money and spell scrolls. I think y'all have been great at keeping me alive, but I'm tired of dying. So I think that there's spell scrolls that can help me avoid getting hit. And
Yes,
I'd like
quite
one
right.
that will help make it more powerful when I hit the damn Lord of the Feast. So yeah, couple spell scrolls, and some money from these crystals that we have, so we can buy more spell scrolls later.
Josh, is that
Quick
something we can just
quick
manage
stop.
kind of on our way through?
Yeah.
I like the standard prices.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry. Can you say again what you're gonna do? Just the two that we talked about earlier.
Be specific about it. Yeah, so then it's
Yep.
mirror image and hex.
Yeah. Totally fine. Yep.
Cool.
Perfect. And then I've got the big
How many?
crystal.
How many are you buying? Just one of each. She really probably only has like 4 or 5 scrolls total.
Okay.
So it's up to you. But I wanted to kind of toss that question out there.
For this, let's do one of each.
Okay. Okay.
And then
For now.
that's 600 remaining for magical inks to scribe with.
Oh yeah, for
time
the
out.
books. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Time out. So
Yes.
without the 1,000, I've got 7, 8, 9. I've got a little over 900.
Oh wow.
Yeah, prior to that. So that being said, I'd like let me be greedy. Let me do 2 and 2.
Okay.
She's got them. I'll
Very
take.
nice.
So at this point, after the 2 and 2, you have the ability to get 1 more scroll
Mm-hmm.
total.
You could just
forever?
snatch another. You could
That's
just
it.
snatch another. Well, you have 200 left of that 1,000 from the crystal.
No, I mean like River doesn't have any more scrolls after this.
Oh, that's also how much money she has in
Right.
trade.
Yeah. I mean, you can order
got
more
more money.
scrolls, but it takes like a week.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Do you guys look? This is for me. I don't need to be greedy. We've got money. Is there something else that would be useful?
Honestly, I could use some cash.
Great, we've got that.
I've been a bit skint these past few months. We
Got
got
it.
paid the one time, and I immediately spent that all on spells.
I understand. There's a rush that you get buying these spells. So 2 hex and 2 mirror image. Total cost is
800.
800? Okay, so that 800 is coming from the gold I had prior to, not the crystal.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I still have 100 left from that, and then full price
Laurie,
for the crystal. Hmm.
uh, like I don't want to speak for Charm at all, but like, would you just want to like hang on to like the cash and be like the group
Sure,
treasurer, so we're
sure,
not like splitting things up all the time? What do you
With,
think?
with how
100%.
often she almost dies.
Yeah, we'll
No,
like
but
we're
you
not
saved me.
we'll recover her body if she dies.
Uh,
I mean, like,
I'm a
yeah,
fan.
if you prefer not, like, I could just leave Faley's
Oh,
money with her.
I
yeah, I'm totally cool with it.
Okay.
And by money I mean my 50. No, I have a lot of money actually. I haven't spent. Okay, I haven't bought almost that. Like I really haven't bought anything.
all right.
So we're good.
All right,
Yeah.
so cool. So at this point, I gave her 800. I'm left with 100, and then if she does full price, then she is very happy with that giant crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got 1,000, so we're
Oh,
currently
you got 200 remaining, from after buying before.
okay. Um, I had 900 before the crystal.
Yeah, so you got 1100 now, right?
Yes,
Cool.
exactly. Perfect. So 1,100 now. 4 scrolls. Nobody else needs anything.
Here's one.
We're rolling, kids. All right.
Let's hit Drakkenheim.
Oh, God, you get a buzz from these scrolls.
Oh, God, the air out here feels so light. I feel like I've gotten I don't know. I'm missing a little bit of the heft of Drakkenheim air.
It doesn't affect you anymore. And she's looking at the purple
Oh,
glowing in his
never,
chest.
it never affected me over much, I don't think.
She looks him up and down. As
Which
his
eye are you looking
crab
at
shell.
when you?
Bailey's doesn't have any eyes.
Which eye hole?
Yeah.
I think Faley's doesn't really turn to look at people anymore. Like he just kind of stays in whichever orientation he walked into the room in until he has a reason to turn, and just projects like ahead wherever the people happen to be.
That's amazing.
Okay. So...
he's gonna pull his Avanti.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Banking. Got the banking done. Sorry. We are at 1,100 right now, plus the fragments and the... Okay. All right, this is great. I'm feeling yeah, he's going down.
I think we're moving at a fast pace to start with.
Yep.
Okay. So as you are leaving Emberwood, where are you going? What's your route?
I think we're going to the Cathedral of Saint Petruvio, right?
Yes, but which way are you?
Oh, which
going?
route?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have the map pulled up, number 4 is Templegate.
Right.
Number 3 is Champion's Gate, which is held by the followers of the Fallen Fire.
And it was Shepherd's Gate that that the Garmir was at, or was it Templegate?
Templegate. So Shepherd's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. These are some nasty,
Yeah.
nasty, or okay. Like I understand what you were talking about earlier. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Champion's Gate, and we just have to hope that the followers of the Fallen Fire either let us through, or are not tending their gate right now, or we just rush through and hope they are more concerned with protecting the gate than chasing after us.
Yeah, that makes sense. And really, it feels like when we roll up and you've got the crystal in your chest, it seems like fates are on our side at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly they will find out about that at some point. I would love to not bring that to their attention sooner than I need to, if only because I'm very frightened of Lucretia Matthias, and I don't want to give her a reason to talk to me again until I've mentally prepared myself a little bit.
All right. Do we have access through this gate?
I have a writ of passage. I don't know if it's any good, but it's from Nathaniel Flint.
Let's find out.
Yeah, we're heading out just straight down the Champion's Way, in the open, moving quick,
Moving quick.
trying to look intimidating more than quiet, I guess, right?
So
Yeah.
before you leave Emberwood, you're like leaving the village.
Yeah.
You know, night is setting. It is dark on the road in front of you. You see a. Sorry, I'm changing my light setting here, making it spooky. You see a figure in the garb of the hooded lanterns kind of step out into the road in front of you as you basically are like, you have pulled your sword out and you are Avanti, right? And this figure steps out in front of you.
Do we recognize them?
I actually don't know if you have met them before. They are a, you know, hood up, hard to see, kind of in the dark. Obviously, you have blind sight. So you see this kind of elder face, like maybe late 50s, not like old, right? But like,
It's not
kind of a grizzled battle warden. Like
it's not
battle
Jacob
hardened face.
Slovak, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay.
And you see the glint of like heavy armor under this cloak. Like this person can fight, has fought, is going to fight. This person is ready to rock and roll. This person stands in front of you, very intimidatingly, like a commanding presence, and they say, "Are you going to the inner city before the fight this evening, tomorrow evening?"
That is our plan. Yes. How did you know?
My confidant has informed me. Petra.
Oh, yes. That's very we appreciate her concern.
It's less of a concern. She had brought up to me that that might be a possibility, that it was an evolving plan. I was asking if I may join you. And he kind of pulls his hood back in kind of a disarming way. So like pulls the hood back as like a friendly way. Erasmus.
Do we recognize him?
Erasmus, this is Elias Drexel. Like this is like the Lord Commander of the Hooded Lanterns. Like, you haven't met this man yet. This man is asking if he can join your group for what, at this point, Petra has communicated to him that there might be an assassination plot by you three to go and take out the head of the snake for Temple Gate, the Temple Gate rush. Right,
And
but there's two things happening.
Quite capable, yes.
Oh yeah, this is on the tier of Lucretia Matthias and on the tier of the Knight Commander. That's kind of the tier that we're speaking about right now. Like it would be if the Knight Commander was like, "I'm coming with you." Like that's this level of person. But there's also two things happening here. Is that one, you're going to try and fight the Lord of the Feast, right? That's kind of the goal. That's kind of the vibe. It's like get in, try and tip the scales in your favor for this Temple Gate run. The Lord of the Feast basically is the force at St. Vitruvius Cathedral. St. Vitruvius Cathedral is incredibly important to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So to take this place would be a massive victory. So not only would taking out Lord of the Feast be a massive victory at Templegate, possibly, right? Like you could destabilize that entire area. You could almost guarantee a win. But you also could guarantee a conquering of St. Vitruvius Cathedral, right? So there's a couple things happening here. It's weird that he's not on the other side of the wall. Right?
If the Silver Order is trying to take the Temple Gate, and they're betting on their own success there, it would be a real easy to extend that presence in and have their own foothold in the inner city, such as the. Yes.
Exactly.
Why do you want to come?
Well, I'm not in the pincer of the Hooded Lanterns, as you can tell. I mainly deal with strategy and coordination amongst the factions, but I believe that you need backup for this particular creature.
This is either an incredible show of confidence in us or in yourself, and I'm pleased either way.
Absolutely.
It can be both. It can be both.
Yes.
with your permission, of course, Ghost.
Why do you need us if you're so capable?
The Lord of the Feast does not travel alone, nor do they travel lightly. This is not a fight only three can I need to be clear. I believe that you are capable. I have heard many stories of your exploits. I've heard the report from Petra, taking of the clock tower, the initial assault into the inscrutable tower, many fights in the inner city. Very capable group. I need to be clear on
I was
this.
worried you might just be suicidal, and I thought that it was, you might be a danger to have around.
No,
it's
yeah.
good to know that this is a genuine vote of confidence.
Yeah, this is. There may only be one shot to take this without a massive force, and the massive force would come from a faction I am not entirely opposed of, but do not want a military presence in Drakkenheim entirely for. This might be the way to.
Would the Hooded Lantern be okay if you don't return?
Petra and Ansem can command in my stead. Hence, Ansem leading the pincer on the inner city push towards Temple Gate, and Petra leading this side. They're fairly capable in their own right.
Outstanding. And perhaps we can clear some of the way for them. Put it in disarray.
And I'm looking at him and recognizing who he is. We see, kind of recognizing who he is in the station. It's like absolutely, we are only stronger the more of us there are, and as important as this is, yes. And I'm looking at these. Yes.
I'm gonna try to like muscle in and go for the predator handshake. Probably a little off target.
Yeah,
I don't think Felix has ever done it before.
He does. The problem is that he does the same thing, but he's like fully on target, like not even thinking about it. He just kind of returns it.
Your arm out of the way.
He just kind of goes like, ding, ding, ding. Again, he kind of shakes your hand and kind of looks at the shit on your arm and just goes, interesting.
I will.
Yes, I'm a bit crusty.
I'm gonna step up and say, I'm Ryan, and we're gonna go in, and we're gonna kill the Lord of the Feast.
Elias Drexel.
I'm gonna look at him.
Okay, wow, it is. I wasn't sure. That's
what? Right. Call you Elias.
Elias works right. Lord Commander, if you're feeling particularly
spicy.
Spicy.
Yes, well, Lord Commander, let us be away.
This is fantastic. Is there anything, anything you can do to help make this mission more successful? Benefits everyone. More the merrier.
Yes.
Great.
Your intel, sir.
Yes.
We're gonna need that more than your sword arm, but your sword arm's welcome as well. And I look at him and his tattooed sleeves, his mustache, his stylish glasses. And I say, it sounds like you've been prepared for a while, and this is the moment to strike. What do you know that we can use to help make sure we all get home?
Let's do. I imagine at this point you have agreed that he is going with you, and you are moving towards the inner city. Let's go ahead and we'll make, including Elias, we'll go ahead and do a group intimidation check. Let's do that to try and keep people kind of out of the way.
I like that for this very first segment, moving in the outermost things in Drakkenheim. Can we spook them? 15.
15. Good.
Do we get conditional advantage modifiers based on certain things about us?
Not yet, but eventually maybe.
Okay.
21. Nice. 21.
21 here. Rice got some stuff going on, and she also has a little extra spring in her step right now. It's like, it's feeling better. Look at him. We've got this with us. Oh hell yeah.
Ryan's got a crush.
Ryan wants to kill the damn Lord of the Feast, and look what we've got on our side.
Even more than this really tough guy wants to join up with us. I feel like from Bailey's perspective, it's like, wow, maybe this plan isn't entirely stupid.
Right?
Oh, it's 50-50 on it.
This guy's strategic. He runs the show. Oh, this feels good.
It's all. I'm leaving open the possibility that he's just suicidal, though. And
it's a perfectly valid thing. You haven't met him yet. You've met a lot of Hooded Lanterns.
We don't know this guy. He might just be looking for an excuse to dip out.
Friendly meat shields have value too.
What stat does intimidation use? Is it charisma or
Charisma.
strength?
Yeah.
Charisma.
He's terrible at charisma. So funny. Oh, okay. Could have been worse. Wasn't great, but could have been worse. What'd you get, Rasmus?
8.
8. Okay. So there's 2 failures and 2 successes for the intimidation because I rolled a 12.
And we are moving at speed.
At speed,
So
indeed.
if we run into anything, we won't have any warning. Just so you know, my plan if we run into anything is to cast Fog Cloud and keep running, and the Fog Cloud will follow us for an hour, and Elias will just be shit out of luck running in blindness with.
He's got blind sight.
Oh, he's got blind sight too.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, he's a champion. He's sick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you told him that, and he's like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can see
so-
in the. Yeah.
If anything, like as soon as anything rolls up on us, like my plan is cast Fog Cloud and keep running.
Sick. All right. Let's see. Where's the?
I imagine like most things will get tired of pursuing us, pursuing things they can't see that can see them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and we'll roll the encounter roll. Let me see how many we got to
Hell yeah.
do. So we're going. You said Champions Way was the route.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's do. 2. Okay. So we're gonna do 3 total. The second
Cool.
one, at the end of the second one, will put you at the gate. The end of the third one will put you at the cathedral.
Hell yeah! All right, so first one we've got, it's disadvantage on this one, right?
So with the even keel, let's just do regular, not disadvantage.
Okay, cool.
So
73
just,
then.
just a standard D100, D10, D20. So 73. Okay. Okay. What was the D20 and the D10?
So are we doing this advantage, disadvantage, or normal?
Normal.
Straight.
Normal.
Okay, 12.
And also, if he's got blind sight, I'm just gonna be precasting Fog Cloud. I'm gonna have Fog Cloud up.
Okay.
Yeah, this whole initial time that we're traveling.
Okay.
Got it. That's a 1.
A
on
1?
the 10.
Okay. Great. This actually works out really fucking sick, actually. Great.
Love that.
So you cast Fog Cloud, you're ripping down Champion's Way. I mean, just
Uh-huh.
like full bore down Champion's Way. He's keeping up, no problem. Right, Elias Drexel, he can probably sprint faster than any of you. He's a very well built fit dude.
Bailey's is like like pausing every once in a while to like lift his like sort of ventral gills and like release more fog.
That's awesome.
And as you're running through, who has blind sight? It's everybody, right?
Literally all of us.
Okay.
Everyone.
Who has blind sight
Somehow.
over 10 feet?
I have 30.
You have 30. So you're the only person who actually sees this happen until all of a sudden it's just happening. Because everybody's sprinting full speed. But you see, as you're running through this fog cloud, you're kind of following the road as best you can. And all of a sudden you see 30 feet in front of you, very quickly 10 feet in front of you, very quickly 0 feet in front of you, like 3 hooded figures running in the opposite direction. So they are sprinting the opposite direction of you, and you see them come into view, and then you see them in your face, and then you feel their bodies crash into yours, full speed, and you flail out, and you see one of them has pulled a bow, and it's like they're laying on the ground, they're pointing the bow.
Are you
at
okay?
And you see one of their hoods is falling back, and they're wearing the garb of the hooded lanterns, and he just goes, "Who are you?" And they go,
Oh, whoa,
"Lord
whoa, whoa.
Commander, what?" Okay. And kind of like they just kind of like stand up, like they see, like they're like, this is no longer blind sight. You are within melee range of these people. And like,
Are you rushing to meet up with the main force or fleeing from something?
actually, and they hand a letter to Lord Commander. To
That was
Elias.
convenient.
And they're like, we literally were running to give this to you. This is news from the inner city pincer of the current battle plan that Ansem is leading. Do you have anything you want us to take back to the front? And he grabs it, unseals it, takes a second, seals it back up, ties it, and then pulls out kind of a fresh thing and scribbles a quick note, ties it back up with the same kind of ribbon that was sent to him, and hands it back to the messenger, and saying, quickly, important, do not hold up the assault. And they just quickly salute, kind of hands it, fist the chest, and then just book it in the same direction that you are going.
All right. Yeah. All right. Heading onward, marking off another spell slot for more fog to travel under.
Okay. Cool. So that brings us to our second roll. Go ahead and roll the second one.
65.
65.
7 on the 10.
17 on the 20.
Okay. So again, as you're running, you're getting the feeling you're getting close to the gate. You don't see it yet because you're within kind of the fog cloud. It's very, especially the center of the fog cloud is very dense. But you get the feeling that you've been running long enough. You're kind of moving quick enough that you get the understanding you're getting close to the gate. And you look over onto kind of the side of the road, and you see like 5 little bottles, glass vials that are filled with little delirium fragments on it, just sitting there, kind of neatly arrayed. One knocked over randomly, but they're neatly arrayed, kind of on the kind of curb.
Well, no one's watching. Can I snatch those up and hope that I'm not stepping into a trap?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception as you're doing that with disadvantage.
Okay. 12.
12. Yeah, so you run over, quickly grab them. And nothing immediately happens. There's a little bit of tension as you kind of pull the bottles towards you and put them in your bag, but you don't see anything.
Bailey's freezes for a moment, looks around. Okay, we're good.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah. So you pull that and just keep booking. Yeah.
Keep moving.
The rest of you can go ahead and roll perception checks if you would like. It would be at disadvantage.
Too bad. That was a 19. Okay.
I also rolled a 19.
That's all right. And
I also rolled a 19, realized. That's funny.
And a 14 and some change. Ooh. Perception. Okay, so that's an 18.
An 18? Okay, well, he's got crazy perception, so I still rolled a 19. So, both of you... What'd you get, Erasmus? Okay.
I got 2.
A 2, okay. So as you grab the bottles, you toss them in, you just start running again. Ryan, you hear the sound of like claws and beaks and wings. And you hear Elias next to you as you're running towards the gate, saying, Harpies, this fog cloud was a fantastic idea. They will only strike what they can see, and while they know we're here, they don't know where we are in the cloud.
Should this fog cloud disperse, I've got a cat.
And he just kind of looks and goes, perfect. And he keeps running.
Hate those things.
Oh, I know, and little sparks. I'm like, not now.
Let me tell you what. Getting the smell out of this cloak. It took a number of castings of prestidigitation like you wouldn't believe.
Maybe your magic isn't strong enough.
No, they're nasty.
No, it's certainly the stench. My magic is just fine, thank you.
I wonder if Oscar Yoren's prestidigitation cleans things in one try.
Ooh.
I'd be quite interested too if he has some advanced variant of it that he's developed. brilliant researcher, such as he used to be.
I whisper to Felice, "We'll find out before you kill him."
Just take his brain.
Yes.
You'll get it from the
Yes,
M's Academy whenever they
Oh
I
my
suppose
god.
we
throw up his
will.
brain.
And yeah, continuing onward, I'm
Yeah.
gonna mark off another spell slot.
So you arrive at it.
Oh, let's go through the gate first.
The shadow looms before you see it, and then all of a sudden you are basically within the threshold of Champion's Gate.
Oh, we might just want to run through.
Yeah, at this point, you don't hear nor see any followers of the Fong fire.
If there's a token presence here, they're not making any attacks of opportunity if they can't see us. And they might freak out at the approaching fog cloud, but yeah, I think we're just gonna rush through, and just be cool and don't talk to anybody.
Just keep going. Hey, based on what we've seen here, a fog cloud is probably the best thing they've seen in a few days. So
Well, I mean,
just keep going.
if I were in Drakkenheim and I saw a cloud of fog rapidly approaching to engulf me, I would assume these were my final moments. Like
That's
I
a
would
pretty
be
safe thing.
attacking wildly into the darkness. But you know,
Yeah, but you also are not within a actual gate. Like they can seal themselves into this gate. You know what I mean? And like funnel the cloud into a hallway in which they
For
could
sure.
fight within the cloud.
Yeah, they could do something for sure.
Yeah.
But the gate does the gate appear to have been left open?
The gate itself is actually so Champion's Gate is destroyed.
Oh, it's just a gateway.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's
Okay.
the one gate that is actually actively destroyed.
Right. Yeah,
but
I remember this.
It
Yeah.
is filled with followers of the falling fire. They tend to guard it. But as you're running through, you see, there's the two kind of doors on the side of the gates that lead up into the parapets and the, all that stuff. Doors are closed. You don't see anyone kind of outside action in the gate threshold itself as you are pushing through. The gambit of running through as a fog cloud genuinely was a great idea because it is very intimidating to see a fog cloud running through Drakkenheim.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
it's a great idea unless there's somebody in there who's about to start wildly
Yes.
casting fireball because they think they're about to die.
Yes. Well, that and there could be very limited people here already. Kind of a skeleton crew guarding the gate for whatever reason. It is the middle of the night.
If I were a skeleton crew, I would be like, we're not equipped to deal with this.
Yeah, and just hiding. Yeah, 100%.
Go on through.
Yeah, so
Bailey's
you don't see
gonna
anyone.
do a little chittering as he goes through just for funsies.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an intimidation check just for extra fun.
Nice.
Oh, that's a 20.
Hell yeah.
18 plus
Okay.
2.
Nice.
Yeah. You hear the doors close and slam extra loud as you close. You hear the keys click in the lock.
Yeah, he's gonna follow it up with a little screech and then like reach out to Elias Draxel and just be like, "Don't worry, I'm just having some fun."
Nice. Bailey's, I love the fog cloud.
Oh, I love the fog cloud too.
I wonder if that's something you could teach me.
Perhaps yes. It's a somewhat advanced spell, but I'm an excellent teacher, so I'm sure we could run you through the basics of it.
All right, things to think about down the road.
Yes. You're quite talented, so I think you'd have no difficulty in mastering it.
I'm learning.
Yeah, marking off another spell slot to rush into the inner city.
Okay, let's get it. All right, so one more roll.
Oh, not so good this time. 29.
3 on the 10.
18 on 20.
Okay.
Rolled pretty well. Hopefully it doesn't end in battle.
They'll see.
Okay.
It'd be so scary to be in Drakkenheim and just have this rolling up on you.
Yeah, so if you're looking at the map itself, so you enter Champion's Gate, you are heading towards 11 in the Temple Ward. So you make your way through the South Ward, across the bridge,
Mhm.
And as you enter the neighborhood across the bridge, as you're just running in the street with, the fog cloud over you, you hear and then very quickly see a relatively large group, not like a huge group, but 10, 12 kind of figures moving in the fog and the dark. And as you approach them and rush them, they start to they're more like shambling as opposed to like walking or running in any particular way.
Oh, right.
And they're kind of jerky motions, and some of them are huge, just kind of lumbering behemoths. As you run closer to them, you notice that they are definitely just husks, delirium husks.
Now these husks, I know sometimes they're capable of speech. Do they have like inhuman noises that they make?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can I try to mimic some husk noises? I feel like I've got the anatomy for it at this point.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, sure. So what? Oh my gosh, what would this be? Performance?
Performance, probably.
Yeah, let's do performance and see.
Can we just hide from them?
We could just hide from them, but this is what I'm. So that's a 17.
A 17. Okay, because it is a group of you. Let's have everybody do it.
Oh, well, I don't think other people are attempting to perform. I think I'm just making they're gonna perceive a group of people in the fog, and one of them is making husk noises or something like husk noises
That's
that
fair.
they might see through.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, so
we're not moving like husks, so maybe they have advantage on an insight check.
That's
to figure
exactly
out
what I was gonna do. I was gonna do insight on their whole group. What would you roll again?
A 17.
17. Okay. So as you approach them, you get within 10 feet of this group. You're making the noises, and you're kind of trying to move like them a little bit.
I don't think we're changing our movement. I think we're maybe changing our direction to skirt them a little bit. But ultimately, I think we're still just concerned with moving fast.
So you approach them, and as you start to kind of make the it keeps playing in my head the Minecraft zombie. Noise like the kind of you run past them and you make those noises and you start to mimic them a little bit. They turn to you in kind of an aggravated way, and then they hear you and they go and they keep moving on down the walkway. They're like, yes, of course, it's fine. Just standard husks moving very quickly towards a destination.
Phalys, I didn't know you spoke husk. Nice.
I just kind of went for it. I felt like I was I had a grasp on this husk character. I was envisioning, and I feel like I really tapped into something.
Damn, there's a lot to learn. All right.
I just keep thinking of Old Stick.
Let's see.
That's right.
Remember, I was so frightened of him at first.
I mean, the husks are existentially frightening for sure, but once you kind of understand what their drives are, they become somewhat less physically frightening.
No, if you don't want to become a husk, I'll make sure you're not.
What? Why would I become a husk?
You're halfway there.
What? No.
You got husk anatomy.
I have adapted somewhat to this environment. Do not mistake me for a husk, my friend. I am in full control of my faculties.
The day you stop talking, I won't be sure.
Well, the husks continue talking. Don't forget.
Have we encountered a husk that talks though? Like really talks?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah,
no.
this is all hearsay.
Maybe your mom.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, hey. Except he's right.
That's the best. The best your mom is the truthful
Your mom's a husk.
Your mom's a husk.
Mom is a husk.
Maybe.
I just kind of go, she's not my mom.
Yeah, probably not.
We're not going to worry about that right now.
She's
Okay.
your mom when it's politically expedient for her to be.
Right.
which is the true royal way. Okay, so you have arrived at the cathedral. So
Yeah, what's this look like? I can't believe we made it here so quickly and in one piece.
That
yeah, you guys booked it.
Why don't we travel under this sort of cover all the time? I feel foolish for being so stingy with my magic earlier.
I'm
It
sure
did take you 3 hours to get here. I will say that.
Yeah, but like as opposed to the I don't
6
know
hours or
10
whatever.
that it would have taken
Right.
if we had been prudent with our travel.
Yeah.
Lord Commander Drexel, I'm sure your methods are similar, or perhaps this is a novelty to be traveling in the company of Bailey's and his deeper magics.
It is quite the nuanced approach to traveling in Drakkenheim. I will say that. I normally just move slowly. I don't have anywhere to be quite quickly most of the time. I will say
Yes,
that.
certainly that's the well-reasoned approach. I don't know that I'd recommend abandoning it whenever you can avoid it, but my goodness, I feel as though we're thriving here. Just really, really we've struck a chord here in Drakkenheim.
And
I feel
he
like
eyes you and he goes,
we're well
thriving
suited
is the
to
word
it.
I was thinking. Yes.
Yes.
That's definitely what I was thinking. Yes.
That is the word that keeps echoing for me.
So as you make your way through the kind of last neighborhoods, at this point just kind of following Elias because he seems to know the way.
Yeah.
You stop at the corner of a major street that seems to empty out into this large courtyard. And he quickly kind of takes you and pushes you through a broken window that is right on the corner. It's like a shop or like a house right on the corner. And he ushers you into this broken window. And you step inside, and from the inside of this first floor, you're able to look out through both broken and unbroken glass into this large open courtyard with this massive I guess it's technically like a what is the it's a Baroque is what I'm thinking of style cathedral in the center of this large square. Not quite as large as like the market square. The market square is huge. It's a huge open area in front of the city hall. This is just like a large gathering area and then a massive Baroque cathedral surrounding it, or in the center of it. It has a large, like 150-foot tall, like spire at the top of it. This thing is very impressive. It is a massive kind of pinnacle of faith.
Multi-generational,
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. It definitely it's very imposing standing alone here in this empty square. I use the word empty very loosely. It's got about 30 Gamir gathered here. But the camp itself looks like it houses 100, maybe a little less. The kind of 30 that are left seem as though they are like packing stuff or bringing stuff down, or kind of collapsing certain areas of this camp, and starting to move it towards in the direction of Templegate. So it seems as though there is some level of intelligence here that is saying there's a big happening going on that is going to be pushed towards the Temple Gate. That's kind of what we've been seeing. We're going to start to kind of consolidate forces over there, away from here, just kind of move the things around.
What sort of entrances do we see to the cathedral itself?
So what you see in the cathedral is obviously there's the roof itself. So you could go through any of the windows that are up there. There is a large double door in the front, but you don't see anything on the sides really that you can tell. Let me make sure that
I feel like if we got here in 3 hours, assume like an hour of like mush, so call it like midnight or something like that. Um, uh, I think we have room to be careful at this point. Do we want to circle around and see if anything strikes us?
All right. Yeah, I want to see if we can scale something instead of go through the front door. Yeah. You know how for a long time now I've been just allergic to front doors.
Well, get a good vantage point. Elias, have you seen or had any dealings with the Lord of the Feast?
So as you're kind of viewing this stuff, Elias, um, kind of takes a rest. He kind of leans back from facing outside the window. He pulls open like a little pipe. Fills it with a little tobacco, lights it. He's very very cautious of the light that it is giving off as he smokes it. So he's kind of covering it a little bit, not to burn his hand, but to keep the light pollution to a minimum. And in between kind of puffs of this pipe, he starts to describe what he knows about the cathedral and what's going on there, and specifically kind of the Lord of the Feast. So the cathedral, from what he tells you, is like a gathering ground of all the Gamir in the area. Think of it like Emberwood for you, right? It's a gathering ground for each of the war bands of the Gamir to kind of consolidate, to trade, to strengthen numbers, especially with so many factions attempting to move and retake Drakkenheim, to kind of collect. And the reason they feel safe in collecting there is because the Lord of the Feast is one of the most powerful Gamir in the region. And he said one of the things, in the dossier that you missed was that while the Lord of the Feast is this almost mythic creature, it is very much the glue holding a lot of these war bands together. That doesn't mean that the entire force will collapse.
Right, they have their own internal leaders for each of these war bands, but
exactly.
This is why they're all at the one gate.
Exactly. Is it if you were to kind of lop off the head of the snake's not going to die right away, and it's still very vicious. Actually, probably more so because now it knows that it's in a lot of danger. But they're not going to be as cohesive as they were before because there's no central figure to funnel decisions through. And he has taken up residence in the St. Vitruvius Cathedral because, one, it's behind Temple Gate, which is an incredibly powerful, defensive place for the Gamir. But additionally, it is a place of power in general in Drakkenheim. And from what you're able to tell, the Lord of the Feast's additional name, additional title or rumored given name is the Butcher of Drakkenheim. And so there, as you kind of look onto this, after he says that, you look in this kind of clearing, and you see there's just bones, discarded meat. There's always going to be that stuff in Gamir camps, but it almost seems like, not all of it, but a good portion of it seems like
here as opposed to messy.
Well, either decorative or given as offerings, like tossed onto the steps, in a way. So it's like there is some level of reverence that is happening with the Lord of the Feast, whether or not the Lord of the Feast actually is empowered in any type of way, or is just a very powerful physical being.
Would I know of any magical reason why someone might want to, in particular, desecrate holy ground in this way?
Go ahead and roll a religion check, specifically for Drakkenheim. So yeah, this would be kind of in your wheelhouse. So just regular straight roll.
Okay, that's going to be an 18.
Nice.
There are points within Drakkenheim that a lot of religious places have been built upon. Some more powerful than others. St. Brenna's didn't have as much as of a pull that this place has. This place is a very critical gathering spot for this type of energy, but
Yeah.
there is a calmness that happens in this place that doesn't exist outside of Drakkenheim. Outside of in the wider inner city or outer city, Drakkenheim can be a very dangerous, very bloody, very visceral place. There are a lot of reports that the Cathedral of St. Petruvio has a very calming effect.
Okay. So there is something palpable about like this space itself, that we could feel something is interesting or different about it.
Right.
Does it still retain that even with the grisly display? Or is your reputation? Is that just what we've heard about it?
That's the reputation. That's what you've heard about it. You're too far to kind of
We're not
feel
experiencing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also possible that it's not like an overt thing. That it's just kind of a feeling. You don't feel as enraged or angry when you're in this place, but you wouldn't know until you got closer. That's just kind of like hearsay of what you.
Yeah, and also purely vibes based. Like there's gonna be a lot of like placebo either way, even if it is a real effect.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's gonna be hard to. Well, I mean, it might be dramatic. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to turn to Elias Drexel. It is like okay. So, my hope is that once we identify a likely means of ingress, we can all become invisible, and rush through at speed, hopefully making it difficult to react to our presence. I imagine there will be traps and hazards, and those we may eat some of those on our way through.
Mostly Ryan.
I would hope not Ryan. Ryan is going to be
Sometimes they're
maintaining one
tasty.
of these spells of invisibility.
Oh, that's what you meant.
But I have a stave that I could do some tapping with. But ideally we'd like to move at speed. So just keep an eye out for anywhere it looks like Garmir are not moving through or have established a way to get around. I'm sure you've dealt with many traps in your own time, but perhaps it has. I don't know how hands-on you are. Well, clearly quite hands-on. Okay. So having circled around the cathedral, does that reveal any other means of ingress or no?
So.
We see the kind of ruined roof, and we see the front doors.
Yeah. As you circle around to like the sides and the back, you don't really see any additional ways in that are useful. I guess I should say. There are side doors, but they seem not only just boarded up, but there's like stuff placed in front of it, and then like a full camp built in front of it. So it's like, oh, that door, we don't need that door. We only need the front door. And then, kind of just stuff put in front of it. And then like a little camp set up in front of it for sleeping, for eating, for cooking.
Is there a rectory attached?
There is like not. No.
Okay. No. And I imagine any windows at ground level are going to be at least somewhat elevated. Are there some elevated windows at ground level that are broken?
Oh yeah, most of the windows at ground level are broken. There are also on each corner large bell towers that go up. So they go up however tall, and then there's the opening with the bell in it. And presumably there is a way down from there.
Do any of the bell towers have their own ground level entrances or no?
Not that you can tell. No,
presumably
they must be inside.
Entered from inside.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cast invisibility at 3rd level on my self and Elias Drexel, I think.
Okay.
And inform him that this will drop if he takes any hostile action. And Ryan, can you do the same for you and Ghost?
Done.
Okay.
Ready?
How high
Let's
up are
do
those ground level windows?
Probably They're pretty big. Probably 10 feet up.
10 feet up. Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to like kind of climb and shimmy to get to like the handhold, and then you could pull yourself up and then go here.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, oh, we all got blind sight, so we're all kind of aware of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
so good.
I'll run up and prepare to give someone a boost. Whoever wants to go through first.
Okay. So even with invisibility,
yeah, it's just advantage on stealth checks and disadvantage
yes.
on perception.
Or
no, we decided to go with just one of those, right? Advantage on stealth checks and the ability to hide without obscurement, because combining them all basically makes you undetectable, and that sucks.
Yeah. So I think it was, I think it was just advantage on stealth without obscurity. So
yeah,
let's do that. And the logic behind that is, obviously, noise.
People for sure, and yeah, like these are. Preternaturally aware creatures in the way that adventurers are, right? Adventurers can see out of the backs of their heads because these are all things that fight hidey things for a living.
Yeah,
right.
It's their job.
And as we're getting ready to sneak in, I said, should we be going in or should we be trying to get him to come out?
We should be going in because if we try to get him to come out, many other things will come out first.
Okay.
And so that's a 17 for me on the stealth.
Okay.
Okay, and that's not bad. 15 and some change. 21.
Ooh.
What'd you get?
19.
Okay, 21, 19, and 17. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Elias
got a
29. Yeah, we don't fuck around here with Elias Drexel.
Right. Rice kind of looked at him, was like,
yeah, he goes invisible and he's like, I didn't really need that. Sure, great, appreciate that, thanks.
It helps with running through open, crowded ground.
Yeah.
he is kind of fit too, isn't he?
Yeah, and then so you sprint across. Pretty safe. You run in an area that's like away from the front door. It looks like a lot of the gamer that are kind of packing and moving stuff are moving the supplies to the very, very front, but like to the far end of the the grounds.
Right.
So you have like 30, 40 feet between them and the door, and so you can easily kind of run up to one of the windows.
Yeah, I'll give either Erasmus or Elias a boost through first.
All right.
You going in first?
I'll go first.
Okay. So are you going in? Or are you looking in first?
I'm just gonna go in.
Just go in.
Gotta go in a little bit to look at because it's higher up.
Cool. So you get boosted pretty quick and easy up and over. It's not even that crazy of a boost, even with Phaley's and his strength, quick and.
Still got to do a pull up, but you probably could have run up and grabbed the ledge on your own, but
I just think it's nice that you helped me. Like it's just like such a sweet kind thing.
Somebody's already got your back.
Great. So you kind of enter into the first floor of St. Vitruvius Cathedral. You land in the it's called the sacristy. So it's where if any of you have ever been to church, it's where the priest goes to like don their robes, right?
Oh,
that's kind of like it's like a green room for priests.
Yeah.
Kind of a similar thing. So you pop in here and it's torn apart, right? Like bones, blood matter, or blood, meat matter, just bio stuff everywhere. Like it's just not a great spot. But it's understandable that this whatever would not just this, but like creatures in general would sleep here because it has two closed doors, just beds in general. So, it is the kind of place to do that in. So you land and it's quiet. You don't see anyone else in here. You don't really hear anyone else in here as you enter this spot.
All right. I will. I didn't even think of how we'd like communicate.
Thales can telepathically speak to everybody in their own voice, in their heads. And so he's like checking in with you in your own voice. And I don't think he can do. I don't think he can do it in his own voice. I think literally the only way his only telepathic option is talking to you in your own voice.
That's so weird.
Is the coast clear? Should the rest of us come in?
I will think in my own voice. Yeah.
This is Thales, by the way. Thales the Curious. Your wizard friend.
Of course, I knew that.
Okay. Yeah, I think the rest of us are going to ascend and come in as well.
Okay.
Because time is kind of the essence here, do we want to use dungeon turns? Where like every check is 10 minutes?
Yeah, let's do that. I was gonna kind of just wing it, but I think that's a good.
Yeah, I feel like winging it probably will be good, but there's a chance that it could come up where like the time is really important.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think. Let's do that.
Okay, cool.
I will full pause. Let's do that. I will say 3.5 hours. Let's call it 4 hours.
4 hours in, yeah.
So it's probably about midnight.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So it's probably exactly midnight as you enter the sacristy. So as all 4 of you, boots on the ground, boots on the carpet, the soiled carpet in the sacristy.
That's an omen.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Can we look around in here a little bit? Since we seem to have the sacristy to ourselves.
Absolutely. Go ahead and do investigation.
Absolutely. Anything that I got not at it's at least it's not.
That's going to be another 18.
22.
Okay.
Way less than both of those.
Okay. Yeah, so you basically just find a bunch of bones, various debris, various what looks to be like animal fur or animal hide. That definitely isn't Garmir, and then most of it is Garmir.
Are there human bones?
But that's what it seems like. Yeah, but it also should be stated that like the human bones are broken.
They've got like their own hides here, huh?
Well, it's like fur. Like they have scratched off pieces of their
just
fur.
Nobody's vacuuming here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're all shedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And every bone is snapped at least in half, and hollow on the inside.
I'm going to grab as many bones as I can that could believably form a skeleton of a human skeleton of our size.
Oh.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. It's gonna be quite a few pieces. Quite many.
That's okay. I've got ideas, and they're not necromancy.
Sack of bones. Very cool.
I now have acquired sack of bones for a very possible cool moment.
Now, exits out of the sacristy. What are we seeing?
You see 2 exits out. One as you have entered through the wall to your right, and then one in front of you. And both just kind of inconspicuous doors. They're both closed right now. Both wooden doors that are definitely defaced with the claws and obviously dents, and they're like kind of hanging on by the hinges, but they're still closed.
Do we hear anything listening at the doors?
Go ahead and roll perception to see if you could hear anything in general.
4.
Okay.
I got a 1 because I'm busy rattling my bones into a bag.
Clang, 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 clang.
Hey,
Gagoosh, 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 gagoosh.
Yeah.
15. Look how good that is.
15. Okay, and then he's got 22. I think on a 15, you hear some shuffling, but it seems far off, Ryan. And Elias, obviously not looking or looting anything, just kind of walks up to the door, places his ear on it, and listens. and then after a couple seconds goes, I think we're in the clear for now, but there's definitely movement within the cathedral.
Yeah. All right. Let's covertly move out of the room.
Where would you like to go? There is a door to. I'm gonna kind of flip it. So you entered this way. This is north. So you have come from the east.
So which way would take us to like the main the main like area would have entered into the front?
The west. So there's one in the north and one in the west.
So let's go north then.
Yeah.
North?
Yeah, let's go north. I'm gonna thank whoever these bones were and say a prayer for them as I get ready to go.
Okay. And to his credit, Elias Drexel noticed you takes the bones and didn't say anything. Like, was like, sure, okay, you know what, I'm rolling with it. This is further than any Hooded Lantern has gotten before, so
I'm just gonna keep like not looking to him, like not like because we're invisible and like I can perceive him with blind sight, but I'm just gonna be like, we're professionals. You know, if I'm grabbing a bag of bones, don't ask about it.
Yeah.
This is a boundary in this group.
We got stuff we're doing.
Right,
you
follow
ask
the
a question,
example of the
slow us
others
down.
who minded their business, Mr. Drexel.
This was the first and original no judgment zone.
Yeah. I don't know how it is in the Hooded Landers, but here we mind our own fucking business.
Mind your business. Mind your own damn business. That's right.
Great.
We love a man that minds his business.
Just a tattoo that says "mind" on these knuckles and "biz"
biz.
on these ones.
So
through
to the north.
To the north. Okay.
We're gonna go from the window to the wall. All right.
Got it. Okay. And then to the
Exactly.
So you go up to the door. Are you just flinging it open, sneaking it open? I imagine you're sneaking it open.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try to like creak it open, like duck out, and then sort of like quietly close it behind us.
Cool. So as you kind of step into this, what is ostensibly a little hallway, you don't even need to roll a perception check. It's just filled with. You actually don't even need to close the door behind you. It'd probably be a good idea just for sound, but you don't need to close the door behind you. That's filled with absolutely ruined pictures, paintings, statues, kind of art depicting the sacred flame, all desecrated, all torn apart. Some are out of their frames. The frames are thrown on the ground, smashed. Carpets torn up. The frescoes just obliterated or painted over in what conspicuously looks like dried blood. And it just goes until another door in front of you.
Bailey has a moment being like, sorry, Laurie, go for it.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. So looking around, I'm like, y'all, does this look? This looks deliberate. This doesn't look like just like the act of wild animals, right? This looks deliberate.
My first thought was perhaps these are spurned adherents of the sacred flame, and that sounded crazy. And then I realized I think they're just having a similar reaction that they had at your restaurant, where just a very fragile ego at play.
It's
where the idea of anything being greater than it is distressing, which I quite sympathize with.
I want to think of them as mindless beasts.
Oh no, they're just jerks.
I like mindless beasts better.
Yes, that would be more philosophically comfortable, but I don't think that's what's going on.
Okay. All right. We know what we've got to do.
Yes, and on the bright side, there's no joy in taking vengeance on a beast. So if anything's gonna be sapient, we should hope it's the Lord of the Feast here.
Right. They can make decisions, and they've made the wrong ones.
Well, let's introduce them to the consequences of those decisions.
Yes. Let's prove them to be imprudent.
I don't need the meaning of the word.
So continuing through the hallway, where's that lead us?
Yes. That definitely wasn't Doom Guy soundtrack. That's weird. Why would I do that? That's strange.
What?
I'm just- yeah.
What am I?
There's also the Warhammer. Was it Undrentide? No,
Yeah.
no. I'm trying to remember. That's two different.
Vermintide?
Vermintide.
Yeah,
Vermintide vibes. Yeah.
I'm just gonna post the link into our Discords.
Such a like a beautifully focused game.
There's one goal and one goal only. Kill all rats. Great. So you reach the end of the hallway, and go to open the door again. And this one is a little stuck, so you start to kind of put your shoulder into it, and it kind of comes free, and you manage to. Actually, give me a sleight of hand to like catch this door before it just kind of goes swinging wildly as you kind of have shoved your shoulder into it.
I think Bailey's opened that, so let's see. That's a 10.
10. Wasn't a hard check. It's not like a stuck door, but it's and it for you put your shoulder into it, and the doorknob. I think your hands are a little sweaty, or you're secreting some liquid from your chitinous form because it slips out of your hand, and you go. Oh, crap.
I think the issue is
Reach
I'm
out,
not secreting any liquid from my chitinous form, so
that's a good point.
I've just got hard plates on metal.
It's true. And that'll cause
drag.
it. Yeah. And so it slips out of your hand real quick, and you quickly kind of grab it and manage to catch it and slowly open it again. And you stand in one of the. You guys have seen St. Paul's Cathedral, right?
Yeah.
What am I thinking of? The Vatican. Huge, massive,
sure.
right? You could literally apparently lay the Empire State Building down inside of it. Not quite that big. Yeah, it's huge. This thing's massive. This isn't quite that big, but it's still massive. It is intended to hold thousands of people. Thousands with an S, right? And so you open this, and you are in a vestibule, which is essentially just an offshoot from the main room. It's still part of the same room. There's not like a door or a gate or anything blocking it. You are essentially in the
spot with a
room.
lower ceiling.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you open it, and it opens. The air differential is wild. It opens into this cavernous space. And I think the smell hits you first. It smells like decay and rot and blood.
That's very strange, right?
And smoke as you open this. And you quickly kind of find out why. Because you can even see from this door, you open it and you kind of quickly see there's a large, like almost like a bonfire burning kind of the center of what it would be like the center of the room.
There's like the ceiling here is damaged, right? Like this bonfire isn't about to kill us, is it?
No, it doesn't look like it's spreading. This looks intense.
Well, I just mean like are we in danger of like carbon monoxide poisoning?
Oh no! It's
the size of the room.
The ceiling's all messed up, right?
Yeah. Well, the ceiling this is intended. This is from what you know about the cathedral is that there is a brazier in the center that has a large. This is they worship the sacred flame. So there is a large brazier in the center, and the smoke, when it goes up, will exit out of the top of these vents at the top of the ceiling.
So this normal, a big fire in the middle of the room was a normal thing.
This is a normal thing.
Things got nasty.
The difference is there is a difference between a bonfire and a brazier, right?
Right.
And this
is one smoky.
This one's smoky. Yeah.
This is not an indoor flame.
This is not. Yeah. This is like treated wood kind of bonfire.
Right.
Not a healthy thing, but.
For sure. And you said there's a smell of rot in the air. That's very strange in Drakkenheim, right?
Yes. And it seems as though it's rot from like a not even like you could see the body parts like on the ground, and so it's not rot really from like the bodies. Like maybe it's just the inherent sense of decay in this place, or like degradation.
Yeah.
That kind of has this putrescent, sweet smell to it.
Yeah. The vibes are rancid.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we've got negative energies hanging heavy in the air in a way that might produce spontaneous undead if Drakkenheim didn't do that by default.
Yeah, and in addition, there is also the dead may not rot, but the living are perfectly welcome to rot. And so,
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
like
people can get stinky while they're alive.
exactly, and it's definitely a place where the Gardmere have lived in from what you could tell, a considerable amount of time. And you didn't see any water on the way in, so it's not like they've been bathing a lot. So there's, I think, that level as well. So there's this
Right.
rank of putrescence that exists of uncleanliness of the garbage to like an nth degree, right?
Are there any Garmir moving around through this space?
From what you can see, none in the vestibule.
Okay.
You do see a good number of them, not like 30, but like 5, 6, kind of hanging out around kind of the corner in the main room. Hard to tell exactly how many, but a cluster, a handful or two.
Okay.
You'd have to move further into the vestibule to kind of get a full clear look.
Yeah, I think we're progressing further in, right? Everyone down? Okay. Yeah, we're moving onward.
They've destroyed this place.
Okay.
From one place of worship to another.
Great. So are you stealthing in? What's the game plan as you enter this room?
Yes, we're still invisible for another
A good period of time, right? It lasts like an hour.
Yeah, so we spent the 10 minutes investigating, and then we just kind of walked through that hallway.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're moving onward, and trying to move along whatever paths it looks like the Garmir move through normally.
Okay.
And like even if that kind of takes us to right to where they are over there, but just trying to look and see what's visible as we move deeper.
Okay.
Got it. And yeah, and we're still
Keeping in mind that Thales can only see 30 feet around him.
Okay.
And definitely still trying to be sneaky, get on through.
Yeah.
I think Thales is like flashing periodically into like Melancholia's vision, to kind of get a sense of what's going on.
Oh hell yeah! And Melancholia.
To get like a glimpse, so he's not totally blindsided by anything, but mostly just relying on his own blindsight.
Okay. Great. Awesome. Let's do some stealth rolls with advantage.
Love it.
That's a 11 for Thales.
11. Okay.
That's a 19 for Ryan.
Okay.
1 second. Um, 23.
23. Nice. Elias got a 22. So
Now we're
Suck
not
Elias.
traveling anymore. Are we still on group checks, or are these individual checks?
it really depends on what you are intending to do. So if you're moving together,
I think we're moving together and just trying to.
that was my thought too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay within 10 feet of each other for blind sight purposes.
Yeah, we want
Like
to
if-
lose each other. That
Yeah.
would be bad.
That
I
would
don't
be
wanna-
real bad.
I don't want to lose Elias in
Yeah.
this, especially.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh god, it would be so bad if we went back and were like, "Hey, hooded lanterns, now we don't know what Elias told you, but he really wanted to come on our suicide mission, and he didn't make it, so."
And the suicide mission was successful. So
Yeah,
we're one of us.
Yeah, that would be important.
We will never speak of
If it's
this.
unsuccessful and he doesn't make it, and like
Yeah.
that'd be bad.
Okay, so you enter the vestibule and then therefore the main room fully. And you see at the kind of center of this space a large kind of bonfire that is lit in the center of the center of the cathedral, The ceiling is to give it a sense of scale. It's 250 foot high, so it is a large vertical space. This is a huge space, and so you see this large bonfire that it seems as though like regularly people are tossing in, well, not people, but like the game, you're like tossing in wood to kind of keep it going. It seems as though they're kind of like what would be considered cleaning is a really big word there for them.
Yeah.
You know, but
throwing
like
the stuff that's in the way into the big fire.
pretty much, yeah. That's the logic. There is a large, like, altar is not the right word. Throne is a closer word, but not quite. Like a throne to a gamer, right?
Yeah.
A nice, cool, bone-riddled, meat-covered, blood-covered chair.
Right.
Is set with its back to the bonfire, facing the front door. It is currently vacant, from what you could tell. And as you are looking around, you see someone kind of cleaning it a little bit, like, you know, placing like a strip of meat over the armrest and placing a bone on top of it.
It's gonna be sticky.
And that person is clad in Sacred Flame robes. It's a gamer, but clad in Sacred Flame robes, totally torn apart, kind of covered in a little bit of dried blood.
Okay.
In almost a mockery of one of the chaplains that would take care of this.
It could be a mockery thing, or it could be he could literally be like drawing on some Sacred Flame clout and be like, "What's up, guys? I'm the real Sacred Flame and have been the whole time. What's up? I'm back.
I've been here the whole time."
It turns out I like sticky stuff. Make everything sticky all the time.
Fun fact. Sacred Flame, huge fan of sticky stuff.
New commandment, guys.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna roll this. It comes down on a slice of meat, not on a rock. New commandment. And apart from the kind of gamier chaplain, that looks, you know, kind of burned on some sides and you know, not a normal kind of gamer, like a quote unquote elevated in the Drakkenheim way gamer.
Yeah.
There are also like about 7 or so of these larger, beefy gamer walking around. And what seems to be about 4 hounds lounging around the fire. A couple of the larger gamer kind of tossing wood, and that's who's tossing wood into the fire.
Okay.
And that's, from what you can tell, that's everybody you see in the large vestibule, like in the large room. Like the entire place is just filled with 12 individual, or I guess 8 gamer and 4 dogs.
At the far end, is there a larger altar?
There's not. From what you can tell, it looks like there are. You are on the eastern vestibule. We're in the eastern vestibule.
So any ceremonies that were here originally would have been like central, or they would have removed whatever altar was there before?
That, or, you know, they probably took place, because it's called the Sacred Flame, probably around the fire. And whatever altars were there were either destroyed or removed or torn down.
Okay.
And you can see that there is a second level that kind of goes around, but it's just a walkway. And it seems as though it you can kind of connect to the bell towers that way. In like, you go in at like the bottom level to go up in the 4 corners next to the bell towers. You go up 1 level, you're on kind of this little walkway. You go up further, you go to the bell towers. It's kind of what it seems like. And there's also a quite frankly, an interesting untouched door. It's safe to assume that there are 2 of them. You can only see one of them right now.
But there's one that's not messed up?
Not at all. Everything else in here is like, you know, claw marks, you know, kind of blood splattered all over the place. But this door is very much left alone. It could not have been a mistake. This is a very conscious door that has been left alone. That is just closed on the opposite about your 1 o'clock as you are in the vestibule.
I think we got to make a beeline for that door. I say telepathically to everybody. So there's the larger Garmir that are patrolling, right? There's the chaplain. You said there were a few in a corner. Do any of them appear to be guarding anything in particular?
They all, quite frankly, seem to be guarding this area.
The space in general, right?
Yeah.
Probably against other Garmir, honestly.
Yeah. and you hear Elias, not because he doesn't know how your telepathy works, but he is speaking in a very low tone that only, quite frankly, you could hear. Because it would bounce off the walls.
This is Phales. Phales the curious. I'm speaking to your voice, to you in your own voice because I haven't figured out how to speak in mine yet. I can hear the thoughts that you think as long as you direct them towards me.
You hear him think, that's really bizarre. I should probably tell him that the Lord of the Feast hunts at night. And then he goes, by the way, we may not be able to see them, but the Lord of the Feast goes out and hunts in the evening and always comes back at dawn to rest, from what my scouts have told me.
Oh.
Do we know where he comes back? If he comes back here, should we wait?
Oh dear. Well, I think I know what we need. We need to summon him, because we can't wait till dawn.
So we should kill everyone here.
I think that might be prudent. Let's see what's in that door first. Or at least we should kill enough people here that we gain access to the bell towers, so we can call him.
Right. Rise looking up at the next level.
What if we go to the... Oh, sorry.
Would it benefit us if we're going to take these guys out?
If we're going to turn this into a shooting gallery, yes, being up would be advantageous. However, there might be something of interest in that behind that untouched door back there. Perhaps they have been unable to mar it because it is magic, or perhaps they have left it untouched for reasons so far known only to them. But I'm curious.
Yes, right.
Can we just shoot the bell tower with a blast from Ryan? Like the bell?
It'd be difficult to get a good angle on it, and that might make a noise, but it wouldn't be the full ringing.
So just to try and get him back here, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Do an alarm bell situation, right? Which they might solve that problem for us on their own once we attack, if we are insufficiently quick. But it would be better if we were the ones ringing the bell on our own terms.
Right.
All right. So I think we're gonna move over towards that pristine door.
The door. Okay. Great. Another stealth check as you're moving across the space.
Yes. All right. Much better. That's a 22.
22?
Sorry, 21.
18.
Dirty 20.
20. Okay. Ooh, boy. Let's see. 29. Okay. I do not think they are going to be able to make this.
You're impressive.
Set that one down. So as you're moving across the kind of central area, trying to be as quiet as possible.
Yes.
And succeeding in a lot of ways.
And there's like things moving through this space. It's not dead quiet, thankfully.
Exactly. Yep. And cathedrals echo sound, but when they're covered with meat and bones and cloth and smoke and dirt and dust, it helps because there's not a lot of spaces, clean spaces for sound to ricochet off of.
Way to find the silver lining.
Hilariously, one of the things that I think wasn't taken into account, and Elias kind of says this under his breath, not towards anybody, but as like a reflex, is as you're moving through, you like get close to the door, and you have to pass by this small group of hounds that have. Quite frankly, they radiate heat very much like the fire does. And you move by, and none of them really look up except for one who kind of raises his head and looks in your direction. You forgot that you have a different scent than the room itself. And so it's hard to detect, unless, of course, one of them rolls a nat 20. And then it's a lot easier to detect a smell.
So this dog knows something's up.
Exactly. And so it's only one, and it just raises its head and starts to kind of like stand up. And Elias goes, shit. And kind of pushes, like just grabs one of your arms, whoever's the closest, and kind of moves quickly to the door, hits his hand on the doorknob, twists it, pushes. He clearly knows more about this door than any of you guys do, because he knows what's down here. Quickly opens it, pushes whoever, so I think it's Ryan, just grabs you, kind of pushes you in the doorway, and, is not outside of 10 feet from you, and just goes, quick. Kind of ushers you down. So you make a lot more noise as you're kind of like rushing through this door.
Barking, I imagine.
Dark just kind of like, what in the world? And starts moving towards the door, and he closes the door really quickly.
So there's a suspicious dog scratching at the door out there.
At least sniffing around, yep.
Someone might get curious. We'll see.
Can I give it one of the bones?
I mean, you certainly can.
I'm not gonna throw it on the ground like,
I mean, if you do anything with it, it'll make a noise. It's a bone, right?
I mean,
but it's also invisible in your hand, right?
I mean, it can smell us.
You could like place it.
I'll place it on the bone. A dice came out of my beard there. Go back in there. Anyway, so sometimes you gotta have your dice in your beard.
You gotta lock and load them. Lock and load.
Yep. But I was just thinking, just to like placate its curiosity.
Like on a pew nearby, just placing it down, so it just kind of like flickers into existence as you step away.
Right. Just kind of one of those things that's like, I smell. Oh, food, snack.
I mean, yeah, you certainly can. I'm not even gonna have you kind of roll for it or anything. Kind of a quick thing. You hear the sniffing at the door. This is not like a massive stone door. It's just a door, right? It's just the one door that was not touched.
What are we seeing inside here?
So as you kind of enter this door, and you hear the sniffling at the door itself, and then eventually a padding off of this hound. You are looking down a staircase that goes down a little bit and then has a full 180-degree turn to go down further. And Elias takes a couple steps down and goes, I don't know why you brought us to the catacombs when we're intending to fight the Lord of the Feast, but if this is a go with it plan, I'm going with it.
Yes, my thought was get a lay of the land so we know what sort of threats we are summoning on ourselves once we pop off.
That's fair. Well, down here is the burial crypt.
No. Have you any idea why the Lord of the Feast might have left this untouched?
This is a mighty holy area. Also, he might not fit.
Fair. Because they don't seem to have much respect for holy areas from what we've seen.
It depends on how holy the area is.
This could be the kind of holy area that causes symptoms.
That or holy enough to be dangerous to anyone who would disturb their dead.
Oh yes, I was using a euphemism for that.
Yeah, same.
Oh yeah. I assume there's not going to be a whole lot of Garmy down here, but like let's scope through and see if we spot anything problematic that might issue forth down here.
Issue forth. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, baby. This is... There it is. Okay. And you went there. Great. So you... go to... I'm going to be honest, it's a pretty big map. So you go down and you reach the bottom of the staircase. And to your right, you don't even need to look to your right, really. You see a large statue of what seems to be some type of angelic figure kind of standing in an alcove. pristine, quite frankly, like, covered in dirt, or not dirt, but like a little bit of dust, maybe some cobwebs. But there doesn't seem to be any desecration down here in the cathedrals that you can tell. To your left, as you go down the staircase, there is a hallway that seems to open up into not a large room, but a larger room you're currently standing in. A normal-sized room, one might say.
Can we take a look at this statue of an angelic figure?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know much about Saint Vitruvio. Is this likely to be a likeness of them or no?
Is anybody proficient in religion? You are? Which makes sense.
Ghost should be.
You recognize this is the Archangel Michael. And Michael's holding a sword. Saint Tarna was one of the first followers of the Sacred Flame to become a paladin of the Sacred Flame. The Archangels, Michael and Gabriel, guided Saint Tarna down the path to become a paladin. This is Saint Michael, Archangel Michael.
When you say holding a blade,
A spear and shield, I should say. Sorry.
Oh, spear and shield.
are they part of the statue, or is there actually a spear and a shield?
It's actually a spear and a shield. I mean, they're built into the statue.
Okay.
Okay.
From what you can tell.
They appear to be of the same stuff as the statue.
Yeah, you can use investigation if you want to take a closer look.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Check it
Ryan,
out.
if you want to do that too, you're more than welcome to. I mean, you're both kind of looking at the same
Absolutely. Well, I'm, if there are things here that may help us in our cause, I'm no good.
That's a natural 20.
thing. A natural 20. Great.
Let's use his. I'm a natural 12.
You see a couple things. These statues, you have seen statues before. Everyone here has seen a statue before. Statues don't usually seem like you have glued the arms on to the chest. These seem like they are glued on in a strange way. They have a line that connects, like this shirt, right? It's got this line here.
Yeah.
Very similar, except this is on a statue. And so you have your shield and your spear, and it looks as though the shield is a little bit lower than it would be if you were protecting your chest. There is
Can I attempt to raise that arm? Oh wait, sorry.
you still can, yeah. There's below, underneath at the base of the statue, there's an inscription that says, "The light opens the way of truth."
The way of truth. Yeah, Bailey's looking at that. That's not historically accurate. And he's gonna raise the shield arm up.
So, have you ever seen, like, there's the memes and anime and comics of a character who like does something and then light pours into their face and they're like, ah! It's like that of like, that's not historically accurate, and you lift and it just light pours down Bailey's face. And it goes right down the hallway.
Because Bailey's is in like a phantasmagoria all the time, where he's like sensing like the auras of things rather than like like he's got Daredevil.
He's blinded
vision,
again.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't actually know, because like
does he notice? Or does he feel it? Does he experience this as like
he's just standing there.
Like all of these colors, which were already wrong, just went negative.
Yeah, I think that's closer to kind of what it is. It's there is a change, because obviously you can always see you have blind sight, but it's I think you made a great point of like, when you're
I don't think Bailey's has ever experienced a light like this since having blind sight.
Is the light that hits your face, I think, almost inverts all of the colors while you're inside of it, and all it does is just change it, right?
Bailey's freezes. What's going on? Am I okay? What's going on?
And the rest of you just see this huge beam of light, like heavenly light, just shoot down the hallway down to your left, illuminating the entire hallway. And going into, if you kind of turn your head and look down the hallway, it goes into a cross-section, a four-way intersection, and past that, it goes past that into what looks like a crypt.
Gotta follow the light. I see. Bailey's, it's a beam of light coming off the shield.
Oh, good. Yes, of course. Yes. I thought, I genuinely thought I might be dead.
Not yet. Not on our watch. Elias,
Wow, that's right.
have you seen anything like this? Did you know this was here?
Oh, Elias, sorry, I was reading something.
Oh, that's okay.
He says, I've never been down here, but I've heard of the holy crypts beneath St. Vitruvius, and this is not strange for those who subscribe to the Sacred Flame. This kind of meets the expectations that I had. A little bit dustier and a little bit cobwebbier, but
we met Saint Brenna a while back. The founders of the Sacred Flame sure liked their puzzles, and
that they do.
And undead. The necromancy seems to be a popular sub-theme in the church.
Well, of course, necromancy is healing magic after all.
Yes, of course, yeah. It's there's a cultural divide among necromancers as to how much glitter we put on things, and well, they put on things, not we. They.
You're referring to the Cabal.
Yes, of course. No, I have no talent for necromancy.
Damn
myself.
wizard cabal. When
Typical.
as we look around, what else do we see that might fit into this, that might make sense?
Yeah, like as we're going to that T section.
So yeah, if you go to the kind of four-way intersection there, you see right smack dab in the middle of it a tile that and I think it stands out to you as really bizarre until the sentence that Faylee says kind of rings true in your brain of like, man, the Sacred Flame really love their puzzles. There is an X on the middle of the floor. It is a tile that is just set into the middle of the floor. And everything else, the light passes straight through the intersection into the what seems to be tombs or some type of burial site. There's sarcophagi over there. And then if you look to the south, there, from what you can tell, seems to be a little bit more tombs. To the north, there seems to be something else, almost like a dais, maybe a fountain of some type. But it's difficult to see kind of outside the range of the light, because one, the light is super blinding, and so it kind of messes with a lot of additional light or additional kind of sights that you would have. But from what you could tell, it seems like it's a pretty empty little spot in this intersection.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find something that we might expect stepping on this to interact with before we step on it.
Keep looking around.
I'm curious as to what's to the north and south, but the inscription said that the light would show the truth. So shall we follow the light?
I think the
Well,
light
there doesn't-
shows the truth.
Doesn't look like there's anything else here.
I wouldn't want to anger some long dead architect. Let me tell you, the type of mages who do this sorts of architecture, just the lowest form of human. I say that with love. I say that as someone who has dabbled.
Let's
But
all right.
they are the kind of person who would, in their designs, think to themselves, well, truly, anyone truly pious will follow the inscription to the letter and do nothing else.
I mean, they went all the way to make a beam of light where a beam of light shouldn't be. I feel like it'd be
Right.
rude.
No,
Not to-
let's
Yes.
keep going and
I mean, unless we get the other
let's get it
breed
done.
that thinks it's very funny to lure rubes into traps with beams of light. So it all depends on who we think the Sacred Flame would have hired for this. My bet's on the first type, the prudish type.
Maybe.
Second type, more fun but not good.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's keep looking around. We want to get let's get this explored and get back to get the beast.
I think we're following the path of the light further onward.
Good. So you walk into the kind of tomb or the crypt, and you see it's just random sarcophagi. Some of them seem to be kind of open casket. They're mummified remains in them. They don't seem sealed really on the top. Not in the sarcophagi that you saw in the last cathedral. These ones are very lightly sealed, if sealed at all.
Right.
It's hard to tell exactly why. You kind of guess there is some religious significance to it, but this seems more conscious than just sealing the sarcophagi in the other cathedral.
Right.
There are about, as you're going through, there's 3 on the left side. There's 2 on the right side. Conspicuously, the third slot is empty. From what you could tell, there seems to be something else there. If you go all the way to the back, there is a small little door that seems to be like a small little section with what seems to be 2 or 3 extra, kind of tucked away in its own little space. This room's totally empty, apart from just baubles, trinkets, weapons, various different accoutrements that are presented on each of the kind of tombs. The last space on the right-hand side as you enter the door on the far end, where another sarcophagi would be, is completely gone, and instead on the wall there seems to be think of like a crystal ball, except it's filled with like a cloud or smoke. And on the floor right in front of it, so the light passes right over it, and it is right in front of the crystal ball itself, there's another X on the floor.
And there's 3 extra of these sarcophagi in like near that little side door.
So the light goes all the way to the end, and it goes into this little door that seems to have like 2 or 3 extra spots in there.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be anything too special from what you can tell, but you'd have to take a closer look to like see if there's anything special in it.
Yeah, do we want to investigate?
Sure.
And there are a bunch of candles in here that are still lit.
Okay.
Is the light interacting with the X's at all? Does the light go like directly over those spots where the X's are?
Directly over. Yep.
Okay. So perhaps we need to place something on each of these. How ephemeral do these X's look? Do they look like they might not be visible without the light?
Oh no, they're very visible.
Okay.
Yeah, they seem part of the frescoes on the floor, like part of the mural pattern.
So the light is striking the orb, which is beside the door.
The light is not. So the light is passing down the center of the tomb. On the right is the orb.
Gotcha,
the orb,
gotcha.
if you were to draw a straight line from the orb to the beam of light, crosses right over the X.
Gotcha. Can I gaze into the orb and like see if I can divine what's going on with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ponder the orb as a wizard.
Yes, I'd love to ponder the orb, please.
Totally apropos.
So Arcana, that's 15.
15. So you walk up to it and you try and even grab it, and it is stationary. It's stuck.
Right.
It seems though, from what you could tell as you're kind of looking at this, it seems like a mechanism. Like it seems like.
Oh, does it turn?
When you look on the ground, there is a groove of where something would turn. But it's stuck there, and it's hard to tell. Like you push it, you pull it, you kind of do all that stuff to it. You knock on it.
Okay, so so it's either stuck or it has a locked mechanism that needs to be unlocked so it can be turned.
Are there any other X's looking around on the floor?
No, just that one.
Okay.
So you said on the on the ground. Is the orb on a pedestal?
Kind of. It's like center mass.
Okay. But like it's on something, right? And then like that's on the floor.
It's like a little
and the grooves on the floor look like the thing that the orb is on would be what turns.
The orb is on like a shelf that is in the wall, and it looks as though like a section of the wall would spin or turn.
Oh, okay. And that section of the wall is the one that has the door in it, right? Or the door's off to the side?
The door's off this side.
Okay.
I want to take a look at the. Did we already do a good close investigation of the X?
I
Of
just
the
looked at
X's?
the orb.
Okay.
Not yet.
I want to
no,
take a
no,
look.
no.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the X, looking to see any sort of mechanism in it, any sort of anything. Getting ready to step on the damn thing, but
Yeah, I
wanna
mean,
see
you
if
can look. Go ahead and do investigation.
Mama's gonna blow up first. Okay, investigation 15-19.
19. From what you could tell, there doesn't seem to be a mechanism on it. Like,
Okay.
it seems like an indication of something,
All right.
Uh-huh.
but there doesn't
Guys, I'm
seem
gonna
to be any kind of indication of a mechanism.
All right. Guys, I'm gonna stand on her next. Keep an
Okay.
eye out.
Stand on the X.
You take a
Stand on
second,
the X.
kind of put your foot out, you take a deep breath, and you step, and nothing happens. You step into the light. Kind of like,
So
Okay.
the light's on me now.
you're filled with radiant light. Glorious, basking in the glow of radiance.
Can we
I
take a
don't
peek
hate
in that side door to see if there's some things to put on X's in there?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you peek in there. Go ahead and roll an investigation again.
absolutely. And Erasmus, what are you up to right now?
I'm thinking, can the orb be put into the light?
The orb doesn't move.
It's stationary.
Can we put the light onto the orb?
If you could get something reflective.
I'm gonna grab you and take your armor, polish it up, and try to deflect the light to the orb.
So you're pulling what?
He's like, what?
I'm
He's
grabbing
using me as a
Bailey's
mirror to
and-
like.
using his
Okay.
armor to deflect the light onto the orb.
Okay. Yeah. So you grab Bailey's.
Just kind of polishing it up. Yeah.
I see what he's doing. I help.
And you see Elias kind of is like leaning on one of these like tombs, like obviously not disturbing the occupant, but like, kind of leaning on, just watching this, being like, I didn't know you were wearing plate. That's cool. And then he holds you up and kind of like a controlled light beam, and turning you into the orb, which when the light reflects off of your breastplate into the orb, clears up. It actually was cloudy on the inside. The orb clears up and the door kind of swings open.
Does it look like if we put two angled mirrors on the X's, that would have accomplished a similar goal?
That is exactly what that looks like, yes.
I go around and give.
I love this.
Give
so
Ghost a hug. I'm like,
I think to make that work, I drop invisibility. But yeah, like I love that. I love that. No substitute for a shiny wizard, I guess.
Yeah.
Really
I didn't think that. I
Rose.
did not think that was gonna work. I was just like, this is what Erasmus would do.
And somewhere you hear, strangely,
creative.
Yeah.
Look at Elias. Creativity gets us through.
you just see you sitting there going like, okay.
Young Erasmus here is quite both the strategic and tactical genius. It's always it's always worth heeding his solutions to intractable problems. I admit I had some concern when you lifted me, but I'm glad it was just to reflect.
I know that armor pretty well, and I know that.
I tried to make it less shiny, but it's like you really got that finish on there really powerfully. I've never experienced difficulty ruining a finish.
That's the nature of the Silver Order. They don't make armor like. No one makes armor like the Silver Order.
Yes,
Rye's gonna
evidently.
Rye's stepping into the room.
Okay.
So Rye and Ghost are still invisible.
They were
It's just
still
me and
invisible.
Elias
Mhm.
now.
So you stay, yeah. You and Elias are just kind of standing in this room. He's still leaning on this tomb, being like, "Sure, okay, that was cool, I guess." And you step into the side room, and you immediately see another mirror, but this is in the shape of a shield. It seems as though it's just leaning up against one of the tubes. Inside one of those, you also see a couple, like around the base of the shield, a couple scrolls that are rolled up. You find two different scrolls that are kind of rolled up at the base of the shield.
What manner of scrolls be these?
Yep, somebody's checking those out.
Okay, you gonna grab them?
They're not gonna be wizard scrolls. I know.
Yeah. So if you pick up the scrolls,
Check them out.
they are. It is two scrolls. I'm gonna let you pick these ones, and they're rare spell scrolls, but it's from the cleric spell list. So you get 2 of those, and I'm gonna let you pick which 2 you would like. They can be the same if you want them to be the same.
Oh, very cool.
Choose wisely, grasshopper.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll
Figure it out later.
Figure that out later. What's up with this mirror?
It just seems to be a shield that is, shiny enough to be quickly a very nice mirror.
Is it?
Huge
Is it movable?
It seems as though you can, because it's just kind of sitting at the kind of base of one of these tombs. It seems as though you can kind of just plant it and maybe set it, lean it on something that will stick in place.
What?
There was an X at the 4-way crossroads, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we never looked in that side room. But can we wheel this or like drag this big mirror over to that four-way crossway and see if we can reflect it in one of those directions? Let's say north.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna sniff around this room for a minute, unless that was everything in the room.
That pretty much looked like everything.
There's that side room we never went in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I meant the room that we got the scrolls were in there, so I make sure we're good with there.
Yep. From what you could tell, there doesn't seem to be.
Great. All right. Hey, everything we find helps us.
Great. So what is the game plan? You bring in that mirror out of the 4-way? Okay.
Yeah.
Is the light still coming down? Okay.
Yep. Yes, you drag this mirror out into the 4-way cross. It seems as you can control this light wherever you would like it to go from this mirror.
Hey.
We'll angle it north
cool.
just as a guess before we start looking up that way.
Sure.
But let's take a peek in that little side room too.
Okay. So if you take a look in the side room, you actually don't find anything else. The tombs themselves are, more graciously decorated than I think a lot of tombs you've seen before, but follow very similar things to the Sacred Flame. Both of the eyes have gemstones over them. There's a lot of jewelry on the linen wrapped corpse. It seems as though the intention is if this person were to come back from the dead, not undead, but come back from the dead, be resurrected, they should have some wealth to continue whatever they need to do. It seems to be kind of the general gist and idea. But you don't see any, apart from that, you don't see anything else in that side.
Okay. And going into that north room that we were reflecting the light up into, what do we find up there?
So as you move your way to kind of the northern room, you find... you find a little, like, dome ceiling room kind of built into the rock here, painted with frescoes of knights that circle around it. You've seen very similar rooms like this before. This one has a fountain in the center of it, or a little bit of pool, like a pool in the center. A lot of the cathedrals that you have been in, or a lot of these sacred flame spaces that you have been in, have always kind of had these like cleansing pools. And as you reflect the light in here, it starts to kind of glitter off of the water a little bit that is trickling through this fountain. It's not a massive trickle, but a little bit. And there is a center of this fountain has a statue, and it is a very morose and sad statue. So sad, in fact, that the water is actually, instead of coming from the top of the head, coming from the eyes and the mouth and the ears, as it kind of like cries and drips down into the fountain itself. On the opposite side of the pool, you find yet another X. And this one is a little bit strange because it's like a half measure, where like half the X is on the kind of like the far end of the pool, and the other half seems to be basically like in the pool, but it would be covered by the fountain. And the fountain itself is holding its hands like it can hold something.
Okay, so like a good hold, something orb shaped, perhaps,
or something shield shaped.
Something shield shaped, perhaps.
It really depends. It looks like it would hold a larger object rather than an orb.
Okay, but not something that's cupping something.
It's less like this, more like this. Like it's like it's holding its hands up, not trying to grip anything, but like holding its hands up.
Okay.
And along the base of the fountain, you see that there are four what are literally difficult to describe in any other way handles.
Oh,
like hand grip handles.
Does the should we try to lift the fountain? We've got four of us, thankfully.
Well, let's put something in the hands first, and maybe it'll allow us to move it.
And you can see the light is reflecting onto the face through the open hands of the statue.
Right.
Okay. Aside from the water pouring out through the statue's face, does anything strike? And the statue is attached to the fountain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anything about the statue's face strike us? Not in particular.
Not in particular. And it seems a very sad statue.
Is there anything at the bottom of this? A very sad statue. Well, no, that makes sense. The statues are for washing dead people, or the fountains are for washing dead people. But is there anything at the bottom of the fountain?
Not from what you could tell. Like, there's obviously no coins. Doesn't seem to be anything knocked into it accidentally or anything like that. So
should we check? Should we
the
check?
shield? Well,
yeah.
the shield's been useful. Should we see if he wants the shield?
To take the shield from... Well, if we take the shield from the earlier statue, then the light will stop.
Oh, I thought you were carrying the shield.
Oh no. I lifted the shield, the shield which activated the light. But perhaps we could find a different shield. Should we look in that south room, or do we want to investigate around here?
I'm gonna grab Phalles and lift him. And...
the light is blasting straight at her. Now, if I were held in the statue's grip, where would that be bouncing the light to, do you think?
Right now, it would be bouncing the light directly back where the light is coming from.
Yeah, it would. Okay, so it's got to be something angled. What's the ceiling look like above the statue?
It's just a circle. It's a dome filled with frescoes.
Right. So the handles are meant to turn, then.
Or
the statue.
Okay. Right. So there's the there's a X that's like half in the fountain.
Right.
And the statue is fully in the fountain. Are the statue's hands over the X?
They would be kind of a general
in that
area. Yeah, but
it would have to be something that protruded out a bit.
Yeah, if you
over the X?
It seems as though the X itself, if you were to place the hands over the X, not only would whatever it was holding not get light, but the shadow's face wouldn't get light, or the statue's face wouldn't get light. It just seems kind of they placed it here as a general understanding of like, here's an X.
Yeah, because they couldn't put it on the statue's face.
Yeah.
Let's check that south room.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So you head down. Are you moving the light with you?
Yeah, let's turn the light that way as well.
Yeah, because it looks like.
So
looks
it's
like
wherever we're going.
It looks like the light is the key.
I don't want to step into the room without the light, and it's just like, aha, you've activated our trap card.
There's the
Be
second
cast
artist.
into the void.
There's the second architect right there.
Right. Keeping an eye on Elias. This is interesting.
Okay. So as you turn the shield, you notice, which was difficult to see before, down this kind of hallway in this little alcove, but you turn the shield and you reflect the light down the southern passage, and there is a door down here that was closed. And as the light hits the door, it's an aperture door, so it goes, and it opens like that, which is the first kind of door like that you've seen.
Yeah.
And
Bailey's is immediately gonna go
Did you
back
see
and
that?
turn it and then turn it back just so
Yeah.
you can watch the door open and close a few times.
I will say it doesn't close that fast. It's like a
Okay.
yeah.
Even so, Bailey's is very
Yeah.
excited.
And past that, you see it seems to be another tomb room, but the only light in here is the light that is passing in from the light that you've shining into the room. That you hath thou shown into the room.
Okay, so then nothing in here.
Wait, sorry, could you repeat that? The light shines, the aperture opens, and there's nothing in there?
So the aperture opens and it shines into another, what seems to be like a tomb room.
Okay.
So similar to the first room that you went in, except in this room there are no candles lit. This room is entirely dark apart from the light that you are shining into.
Bailey's is gonna raise Twilight
Have a
as
flashlight.
he enters to
That's so sick.
Okay. So
cast
as you walk
holy light
in
here.
quite possibly the most D&D image I've ever seen in this campaign, you're leading the way with a lit sword with a group of, a
Invisible companions.
two invisible companions, and two visible companions, one of which is a stalwartly, elderly, roguish character. You walk into this southern tomb, and as you're kind of filling this chamber with light, you look to the left, you see a little bit of a glint of light, and you kind of turn to the right to kind of see if there's anything else there, and you hear a ting, 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 and you quickly turn back, and the glint of light that you saw was another mirror shield that was being held by a figure wrapped in linen cloth and bandages that has now dropped the shield, and now not only it, but all of the other non-sarcophagi but entombed brethren have now rising from their flints, I guess. And there are about 7 of them here with you. And,
as they begin rising, kind of before things pop off, can Bailey's run around and start trying to light candles?
You certainly can try, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
but that's what Bailey's is trying to do as they rise from their graves.
Okay, I will say that if you're going to try and do this, I'm going to put you at the bottom of the initiative order for the first round.
Love that.
Cool. Okay, so everyone roll initiative. We're going to go ahead and get this order set up here.
Maybe they're friendly.
Oh wait,
They seem
I'm bottom of the initiative, right?
Well, no,
Elias.
you go ahead and roll, but for the first round, I'm going to put you at the bottom.
Oh, okay, 17 then.
Okay.
9. Hey, Elias, glad you're with us. Welcome to the party.
13.
14.
This won't be the first time I've saved a member of your order.
He's like, it will be the last, and he turns on you. He's going to fight you.
Oh, you know something?
What is happening in Shibuya?
Yeah.
Josh, you know something crazy I just realized? I can cast most cleric spells because I've got a level of paladin
Oh,
now.
yeah, you can. Oh, that's
nice.
sick.
Still gotta make a
Sick.
check, but still.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hold on a second.
Those spells wisely, sir.
Okay. Cool. So Thales, you start to run around and light some of the candles, and you very quickly realize, like, as you are lighting them, it's a little too late for that. In fact, it was probably a little too late for that when the candles went out in the first place. You have no idea when that was. Because the candles are they're not hot. You know, the wax that had melted.
Yeah, so somebody forgot to do. Oh, right, and like, undead is the natural state of things in Drakkenheim, but like, I don't believe for a second that whoever, like, even before that was the case, whoever made this planned for these things to come to life and attack anyone who didn't do their puzzle right, and didn't account for the fact that their puzzle would be fucking broken.
Yeah. Cool. And on that, I'm gonna go ahead and save that, and we'll end there. And kick off this long mummy fight next time, as we kind of quickly burn through the evening here on the eve before the Battle of Temple Gate, deep in enemy territory at St. Vitruvius Cathedral, fighting alongside Lord Commander Elias Drexel to possibly help turn the tide against the Lord of the Feast and his merry war bands.
Or maybe just stay up all night doing puzzles before the battle.
Yeah, because that definitely won't make you exhausted or tired in any
Yeah,
particular way.
and also like fully, this is not helping the plan to like retake the gate in any way up to this point.
Well,
this is you solving puzzles in a dungeon before the battle.
Yeah,
this is our pre-battle workout.
Exactly. We're spending time while we wait for the Lord of the Feast to come back from his hunt.
No, we
got a minute.
We literally don't. Oh wait, no, they're leaving at dawn, so we could fight the Lord of the Feast as he comes back at dawn, if we can. Like yeah. That would actually work out.
That's actually a really cool. I love that. That's great.
Oh, that's fun.
We'll get him when he's on his way back.
If there's any chance we could quietly deal with the people upstairs, like in that interior area, there's a chance we could set an ambush for him even.
Love that.
And if we can't quietly deal with them, well, we'll deal with everybody attacking us at once before he gets here, which will be nice.
This is awesome. Yeah, let's get it done.
Okay, so we will see you next time as we kick off this battle for the St. Vitruvius Cathedral, as well as the battle for Temple Gate, and hopefully not the fate of Drakkenheim, but it's starting to feel like fate needs to enter these conversations.
Oh,
absolutely. All right, to the old gods.
Yeah.
We'll take all the allies we can get. We'll take fate. Bring it.
Awesome. See you later.
See you.